Welcome to Meet the Candidate 2022, recording here from Dry Fly Distillery. My guest for this session is Rob Chase, who is running for State Legislature, District 4. Welcome, Rob.
Thank you, Lani.
We've done this before, and this is just a get acquainted with you interview, starting with tell us about where you grew up.
Oh, I grew up kind of all over the place. My father was in mining, so my early memories were all of Colorado, and it seemed like the world was all sort of red hills and juniper trees and pinyon trees. And then when I was 5, we moved up to actually Spokane for a little while. My grandmother had a restaurant out by Geiger Field in those days. And then there weren't really any jobs in mining up here. The mines over in Kellogg were on strike. So someone told my father, well, why don't you try Boeing? He said, well, they don't want a mining engineer. I mean, but he tried it anyway, and they hired him. And so he became an aeronautical engineer for about the next 10 years. So I grew up in Seattle in the Ravenna area. And Seattle used to be a pretty nice town back in those days. And I remember watching them build the Space Needle. It was just a lot of things to do. I used to ride my bicycle down to Woodland Park Zoo, and it was free then. So I could spend all day there watching all the animals. And then when I was 15, we moved to Kellogg, Idaho. My dad got back into mining again. So I graduated from Kellogg High School, went to University of Idaho for a couple of years, couldn't figure out what to do. So I came to Spokane during Expo 74, and I've been here ever since.
Okay. So what other training did you pursue while you were in the Air Force?
No, I wasn't in the Air Force. I was in University of Idaho.
Well, University of Idaho.
Well, you're close. I was in Army Reserves at that time.
There we go.
Too. That was it was the last year they had the draft. My number was 27, and my biology teacher, was a recruiter for the Army Reserve in Wallace. He said, oh, you better get signed up, Rob, because you're going to get drafted and all that. So you may as well do it. And so I did, and so I was in Army Reserves for 6 years, and then I started out in Wallace. I ended up at Mann Hall up in Hilliard over here for a few years too. So I got that out of the way. So I've done a lot of different things. But I went to University of Idaho, started out in mining engineering, and I like my father, but I just don't have the head for math. And then I actually went to a drama, because that was a lot of fun, and then I went to history and then teaching. I thought, I kept changing all the time, so I wasn't getting anywhere, so I thought, well, I better start working. And then I did go back when I had a family, and I finally graduated from the normal school out in Cheney, as they used to call it in those days, when I was 38. So I finally got my degree, but it was kind of a roundabout way to get there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, as you were growing up, were there some early jobs that you had that helped you learn the connection between effort and reward?
Oh, yeah. Well, my first job was actually at Sunshine Mining Company, and I worked in the carpenter shop. This is 71, so that's been over 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I think I worked at the carpenter shop. I was the only one who wasn't a World War II veteran, so all the guys were older than me, so they had fun playing tricks on me. In fact, I had to build pallets for the garnet plant they owned down in Fernwood in Idaho. And they said, well, you got to use a pallet hammer. So they gave me like a great big giant hammer, like on an Arm & Hammer soda box, you know. And I kept bending nails every which way, and I wasn't getting anything done. And the boss finally came in and said, give him a real hammer. We're not getting any pallets built. So that was, but it was fun. I learned the basics, I actually, I think I made $2 and something an hour. I don't think I was worth it, So, but I was learning
not with the
stuff.
Wrong hammer.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah. Well, everybody has a job where you have to start out like that, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you've had some travel experiences as a child. Have you done some traveling as an adult that have helped inform your worldview? Oh
yeah, I went to Europe in '74. I looked up the village my mother's father came from in Greece, and actually they wanted me to marry my third cousin over there so she could come over here. But it was great. We had a letter from the Greek priest, Father Velas, here in Spokane, saying who we were and our connection to the village. And we couldn't speak any Greek and they couldn't speak any English, but they threw a big party for us and everything. And in fact, I'm still on Facebook with my cousin, that they had wanted me to betroth and all that. So, but I think seeing, Europe and everything where a lot of our families, came from. That's one problem with America, though. We don't have those traditions anymore. We've got the old ones have all died off now. So I'm not quite sure what the American difference is now, except I think what's important, like I said, is why I'm doing this is because I think our Constitution was all about self-government for the first time in history. I'm kind of a history buff, so I think we need to follow it. And that's the nice thing about state legislature, because the states created the federal government, the states created the counties, so we're right in the middle. So anything that you can't do supposedly at the federal level belongs to the states. There's a lot of things that we can do at the state level.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a good place to go to that 1-minute wrap-up where you get to say exactly why should people vote for Rob Chase for state legislature for District 4.
Well, I've been in the Valley since Expo 74 in the 4th District, and I've had I was an activist for 10 years, It never occurred to me to run for something until I ran against George Nethercutt, actually. But it was more, not that I was going to win, it was more of it gives you a bully pulpit. So I knew that the Iraq War was going to be like Vietnam all over again. We're going to spend a lot of money, get a lot of people killed, and it just wasn't worth it. And in retrospect, I think I was right. But then I did get elected county treasurer, and I really loved doing that for 8 years. And then, but when I ran, I took a 2-term pledge. I kept it, and I really enjoy being in the legislature now because it's so interesting. As I sit on the Community Economic Development Committee, Children, Youth, and Family Committee. I think that helps because I have a couple foster kids who are grown up now where it really worked out well. We all love each other. And I'm also on the Finance Committee. So one good thing we did was when I was county treasurer, we got it passed to on property taxes, you can make partial payments any amount, any time. But we also wanted to get rid of the usurious penalties on that. Well, we didn't get it done until this last year. I was on the Finance Committee finally, so I got it through the Finance Committee. And then Mike Volz, who'd been my deputy treasurer at the county, we started this 10 years ago, he got it onto the floor and passed unanimously. So that's the first in Washington State.
Okay. Well, you've now heard from Rob Chase, candidate for state legislature.
That went by so fast, Lani.
It did go by so fast. I think we covered a whole lot of stuff there.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Okay. See you.
From Chud Sr. to Dick Wendell, to Kristen and myself.
And now to our kids.
Our goal is to help people drive for generations.
From roll-up windows to power everything. From stick to automatic. From gas to electric.
No one can totally predict what technology is coming our way.
But I can guarantee we will be here before and after the sale, giving you the confidence for generations to come.
That's the Wendell way. Drive for generations.
Hey voters, join me, Kirk Cameron, on Saturday, September 24th with We Believe, We Vote at the Spokane Convention Center for a night of celebrating biblical citizenship.
Join We Believe We Vote for our annual fundraiser on Saturday, September 24th, 2022 with Kirk Cameron. For tickets and event information, please visit WeBelieveWeVote.com. That's WeBelieveWeVote.com. We'll see you there.
Weather in the inland Northwest can wear you down. And if your gutters are in poor condition or you do not have gutters, you could suffer damage that could cost a fortune to fix. Rainman Seamless Rain Gutters has almost 30 years of professional experience in serving the inland Northwest region and strives to ensure customer service that is second to none from the time you call to the end of the project.